English with Deck. Okay, so I hope everyone is fabulous today, having a wonderful, wonderful time. You know, if you're feeling a bit down today, let's turn that frown upside down. And we don't say that too much in English, really, unless it's to a child. But if you are near a child and they are looking grumpy, feel free just to be like, hey, let's turn that frown upside down. Yeah. And the kid will be like, what? No. That today is not that kind of episode. No, today I want to share a bit about me. Me. Um, and maybe this will offer some insight for people. I just want to share about myself. And this experience, which I'm about to share, is, I don't think, super unique, but I know I am lucky in the situation. Now, when you go to a new country, especially by yourself, it can be daunting with a capital D. In fact, let's put that whole word in capitals. Daunting. And yeah, it can be scary. Things we don't know. There are so many things we don't know. And aside from the language, there's the customs, the way of doing things, buying your shopping, let's say getting a travel card. The list is endless. It is terrifying. But there are many ways the integration into your new country can be made easier. Now, there are specific companies set up for this. There are specific companies which you can enlist the services of to help you integrate or just give you ease of integration. And these services are great. I've never used them myself. I know you have to be a bit careful. There can be some scammy ones out there, but I think for the most part, they are really, really beneficial. Of course, companies might offer their services as well. Now, I did just mention I have never needed to utilize these services. And actually, that is quite lucky. I've never needed to sort of pay a company to help me. I've never needed to ask the company I've worked for to help me with these things. And the reason for that is, well, as I'm sure some of you are aware, me and my wife met in Australia, but we ended up moving to Japan. Um, and she is Japanese. That is part of the reason why we moved, why we made the move. We were umming and ahhing. England, Japan, a different country, somewhere else, this place, that place, this place, that place. And for various reasons, we ended up coming to the decision of Japan. And now that was terrifying for me at the time. I was excited. I didn't actually know much about Japan. I won't lie. I knew nothing really. I knew the basic things, some of the main stereotypical things. I knew none of the language really. And I had no real idea how difficult it was going to be. And because, I was a young, carefree gentleman, of course, gentleman. I said, yeah, sure, let's try it. Let's give it a go. If it doesn't work out, we can always make another plan. And from the get-go, basically, as soon as we touched ground in Japan, I was like, whoa, okay, this is different. I'd never been to a country which had such a lack of English speaking, at least for a long period of time. So of course there are the obvious shocks, like the language, the signage, buying basic essentials, etc., etc., etc. But I had a really great support network from the get-go, and that was my in-laws. And I should say that is my in-laws. I'm so sorry. My family-in-law, my mother-in-law, my brother-in-law, my sister-in-law, and their families by extension. And of course, I won't lie, it helped with me learning the language. I had people there on call, literally, who I could speak to in Japanese. And I am so eternally grateful for that. But aside from that, the little things, just like how to pay a phone bill, how to get from here to there, how to use this system, how to do that, how to apply for this service, etc. at the town office. The list is honestly endless, and so many times people in my extended family have sort of taken the time, put their neck on the line for me, and just offered their help. And I will reinforce this fact. I am aware I'm very lucky there, and I am honestly so grateful. And I think more than anything, I should say thank you to my mother-in-law. She is an amazing woman. Wow, wow, so great. And again, she speaks English. So the communication issue was never an issue. But absolutely, from the get-go, I came to this country with her daughter, and she could have always had a bit of a hostile barrier towards me. She could have been like, "Hey, who are you?" kind of thing. But no, no, she welcomed me with open arms, as did everyone else, of course. But yeah, and from day one, she offered me food. She offered to help me. She showed me how to do this, how to do that. She made sure I was aware of anything which I needed to be aware of. And I just wanted to say thank you to her over this service, the podcast service. I think she listens to this podcast occasionally, so maybe she'll hear it at some point. Um, and through the good, through the bad, through the ups, through the downs, she's always been there, and she is continuously. When we first came to Japan, we were living with her for a while, and then gradually we got our own place and blah blah blah. Now we actually live quite far apart, but still only a phone call away. Obviously I have my own mother in England, but definitely I am very lucky to have my mother here in Japan. And yeah, I want to say that, like I said at the start of this episode, I am lucky for that. Not everyone gets that privilege, and I appreciate that. But what I do want to say is, even if you don't have this luxury, and it is a luxury, even if you don't, there are always people you can turn to for help. It could even be a stranger on the internet. It could be a support group. It could be a company affiliated with your company, if that makes sense. There are 100% resources out there. And also, all it takes often is a phone call or a quick search on the internet. Even if you do live in the, the remote ends of the earth countryside, there is a good chance, 99% of the time, you will be able to find someone to support you and help you just with the things you're struggling with. Especially in this day and age, even if it's online, it's better than nothing. So, if you are feeling down, if you are feeling stressed out from it all, you're not alone. Remember that. And there is always someone out there who is available to help. So, yeah, I hope that if any of you do have any experiences with these situations, feel free to let me know. Feel free to let the Deck English community know. But that is all for now. So I hope you're having a wonderful morning, a stupendous afternoon, and a superb evening. Okay, that's all for today. See you in the next one. Bye now.